to the intercalary moon here on Saturday, the actual day of Halloween in 2020. And just to be aware, in case there's any doorbells or knocking, it is Halloween proper. We are house not participating because of the pandemic, and we do wish everyone health and safety this evening. If you would like, during this service, we will do a return flow in which we will put blessings into a cup of water. So I will stall for a second if you would like to go and grab a cup of water, or if you would like to have any incense ready for yourself to help you enter that ritual space in your own place where you can't smell ours. It's been an interesting year, and I'm very pleased to have made it to the time where we open the Ancestors box, which is on our agenda this evening. So we'll talk at length about that, and after the service, we will be, if you want to go back to the Facebook, you'll find a link to a WebEx where we will be going through the contents of the box, kind of like a ancestral unboxing where we can each tell our stories as things come out of the box since we're not together. So if you'd like to be part of that, we welcome you to join us. So for now, I'm going to light this. No, I'm not going to. All right, take a moment, deep breath, and arrive in this space. May we be pure, that we may pass through the sacred. We may pass through the sacred, that we may attain the holy. May we attain the holy, that we be blessed in all things. So be it. We gather on this Halloween night in honor of the blue moon, the true time between times, to sync our lunar and solar calendars once more and bring balance to cosmic time. Tonight we open the Ancestors box after a long year of love, loss, and isolation. Most importantly, tonight we gather to honor the keeper of time, our moon. Let us begin with a prayer. The waters support and surround us. The land extends about us. The sky stretches out above us. At our center burns a living flame. May all the kindreds bless us. May our worship be true. May our actions be just. And may our love be pure. Blessings, honor, and worship to the holy ones. For those of you who may not have seen, the Denver City Council has put out a new statement that they will be making after the Pledge of Allegiance at their weekly meetings. I would like to read this now in place of our honoring of the land's first peoples in solidarity with this important step that we are taking to make reparations with the indigenous peoples of this land. We honor and acknowledge that the land on which we reside is the traditional territory of the Ute, Cheyenne, and Arapaho peoples. We also recognize the 48 contemporary tribal nations that are historically tied to the lands that make up the state of Colorado. We honor elders past, present, and future, and those who have stewarded this land throughout generations. We also recognize that government, academic, and cultural institutions were founded upon and continue to enact exclusions and erasures of indigenous peoples. May this acknowledgement demonstrate a commitment to working to dismantle ongoing legacies of oppression and inequalities, and recognize the current, future contributions of indigenous communities in the Front Range. Please accept this offering as a gift, representing our goodwill, and allow us the opportunity to make right what was so long ago and even today made wrong. So say we all.
So say we all.
We now call to the spirits of inspiration. To you who bless and inspire our words, join us in this sacred space. Silver our tongues, honey our speech, that our prayers may become sweet gifts to those who hear them. Spirits of inspiration, accept our offerings.
Spirits of inspiration, accept our offerings.
With inspiration descending upon us, we draw upon that power to give words to the Earth Mother. Earth Mother, great sustainer, magnificent life giver, known in this place as Colorado for the land colored red. Support us, your children, as we gather this night in celebration of our moon. Everything we need comes from you, O great provider. We give you praise, our foundation and strength. Earth Mother, accept our offerings.
Earth Mother, accept our offerings.
As our ancestors once did, so we do today, so our children will do in the future. Let us recreate our cosmos. Sacred well, reaching down to the depths, connecting us to worlds deep beneath Earth Mother. Be blessed by this silver, and open as a gates to the underworld, dwelling place of the honored dead. Sacred well, flow within us.
Sacred well, flow within us.
Holy fire, reaching skyward to the heavens, connecting us to worlds high above Earth Mother. Be kindled by this spark. And open as a gate to the heavens, dwelling place of our shining gods. Holy fire, burn within us.
Holy fire, burn within us.
Mighty trees spanning across the cosmos, connecting all worlds above, below, and around Earth Mother. Be honored by this smoke. Be honored by this water. And be as a beacon to those in the middle world, dwelling place of the spirits of the land. Mighty tree, grow within us.
Mighty tree, grow within us.
With the center hallowed and open before us, feel now the center within you. Feel your heart open. Feel your mind open. Feel your spirit open to the world around us as we invite and make offerings to the kindreds. We begin by inviting our ancestors. You who have gone before us, those of blood and bone, those of heart and honor, those of hearth and spirit, be warmed and welcomed by our fire. Bring the wisdom of your journeys to brighten the spirit of hope on this full moon night. Ancestors, accept our offering.
Ancestors, accept our offering.
Feel now your ancestors as they arrive, as they join you in this space, drawn by our fire, our words, and our love. And now let us invite the nature kin. You of the middle realm, standing side by side with us, sharing in the bounty of Earth Mother, guiding our feet along her paths, be warmed and welcomed by our fire. Bring the purity of your hearts to brighten the spirit of hope on this full moon night. Nature kin, accept our offering.
Nature kin, accept our offering.
And feel now your guides and allies, the spirit kin among the middle realm as they join you in this space, drawn by our fire and our offerings. And now we call to the shining ones. You who dwell on high, granters of vision's truth, bestowers of wisdom's grace, gilded guardians of inspiration's muse, be warmed and welcomed by our fire. Bring the powers of your healing to brighten the spirit of hope on this full moon night. Shining ones, accept our offerings.
Shining ones, accept our offerings.
And feel now your deities, gods, goddesses, your allies among the heavens as they join you in this space. Thusly surrounded, by our allies, guides, and friends from all three realms. We call out now to the moon. Before we make offerings to her, I would like to share a little bit about Halloween. You know, as polytheists, it's very easy for us to understand the notion of ancestor worship. The Celtic peoples, the Irish, the Scottish, all those folks in the UK, and the continental Celts, the Gauls, that are in modern day France, they were very ancestor-centric at this time of year because they believed that the ancestors, the spirits of those passed before, would return at this time. And it's interesting to look at the folk customs because the timeline is a little murky. What we do know is the costumes came first. It's not clear when, but sometime before the Middle Ages, the villagers would dress in costumes of animal skins, and they would do this to drive away any phantom visitors. And they'd set up banquet tables far away from their festivities to draw away any spirits that they didn't want to hang out with them, which I think is where we get a lot of our outdwellers that you'll see in some of the ADF rituals. As time passed, the customs shifted, and the people began dressing as ghosts, demons, and the other ghouls and things in exchange for food and drink, which is where we get the treats. Over time, that became the custom of mumming. If you look it up, you'll see that has expanded quite a bit since then. But it's thought to be the precursor of our modern festivities. The poorer families would dress up and they would go around to the wealthier parts of town, and they would be given soul cakes in exchange for prayers for their families departed. You know, they would knock on your door and you would give them, you would tell them, thank you so much, welcome, here are our soul cakes, here are the names of the people that have passed before me, and then they would offer prayers on your behalf for your departed loved ones. Over time, the kids took that on, and they would just go around and get food and drinks, and sometimes they would dance and sing, and there would be entertainment involved, like, hey, look at me in my shiny costume, I would like some treats, please, thank you. So it was a fun time. It turned into a time when the kids really got to start embracing some of those folk customs, and the parents would stay at home, and so they'd be there when the other kids came around, because, you know, at first when the whole family went out, no one was at home at the other houses, so where you could go was limited, and it really became much more of a community type of a thing. And then by 1605, the custom shifted again, and there was this whole foiling of the gunpowder plot and Guy Fawkes Day, and there were effigies burned and things, and it just took a different meaning because of what was culturally happening. Because one thing we do know about our ancestors is that they were able to take what was happening in their world and incorporate it to what they were doing, which is something that we at Mountain Ancestors really like to try to do in the work that we're doing and that we're engaging in with you. American colonists, so now we're crossing the pond, especially the immigrants who were fleeing the Irish potato famine, popularized Halloween in the States because they needed that food and drink from the people around them, because it was a rough start when they first got here. And then in the 1920s, enter the tricks, and it became, we have to give people things, because if we don't, they're going to mess up our house, and it was just not a pretty thing. Over time, you know, that's changed. There was a lull in practicing because of the sugar rationing of World War II, and then in the 1950s, after we had television and advertising, the baby boomers gave in to the cries of their children for all the candy and the costume parties and things that they saw on TV, and that's pretty much what our Halloween looks like now. So what does that have to do with us as polytheists? The easy lesson is the one that we already have. We honor our ancestors. We remember their names because our ancestors live on for as long as someone who's alive remembers them. But what about trick-or-treating? What does that have to do with it? The idea of treats in exchange for prayers and entertainment is not a far stretch from our common practice of hospitality and reciprocity. Gift for a gift among the fourth kindred, which is humanity. It's a time for generosity in exchange for a glimpse of the manifestation of the children's creative minds and their heroes and their beloved characters from TV and movies. It's an exchange for the sake of simple pleasure, because let's be honest, there's not a lot of places where you can get treats that are good for you. And the gluttony is a risk for those who are not skilled in moderation, but for those of us guiding our young ones, it's a tremendous opportunity to practice and teach them the important virtue and how to ration things and to control themselves when they have that abundance before them. And then the lesson of the trick. And this one I've had to sit with for a while. Sometimes when we give, reciprocity is not there. It's not a pleasant thought, and I'm sure many of us have examples in our own lives when we felt our generosity was met with a trick instead of a treat. But this is an important lesson, because reciprocity is not a guarantee. Hospitality is not one-sided, yes, and someone's generosity cannot be bought with our own. Those exist at the same time. The underlying lesson is do what des. I give that you may give. It's not a contractual obligation. It is far more charitable and nuanced. For me, the lesson of the trick is one that has been hard to learn, because this is a materialistic and capitalist society. So much of what our social mores teach us is that we get what we pay for. When it comes to the commerce of human relationships, that's not necessarily true, though. A little gift can go a long way, and a big gift can leave us with empty hands and a broken heart. Yeah, wow, Missy, that's depressing. I know. And the point is that our generosity must be for the sake of our generosity, not used as a means to deserve generosity from others. It is true that there is a component of generosity that may compel others to be generous with us, and it's not guaranteed. In short, we give treats for the sake of giving treats to the children in our neighborhoods, and what we receive in return is knowing that we have given them a little happiness. That is the true lesson here. We give because we want others to be happy. That's it. No pressure, no obligations, no strings attached. We give, and the lesson is to make the giving be enough to bring us joy. And the moon shines down upon us this night, when all the little ghosts and ghouls are outside running around, getting their candies and being joyful. And having that light shine upon them during this time reminds us how the light shines upon us in the darkness. And that is one of the main reasons why we make offerings to the moon this night. Sacred and shining moon, sacred timekeeper, you who illuminate our paths in the darkest of nights, even when you are unseen, your power is there, strong enough to move the very oceans upon the land. Sacred moon, accept our offerings.
Sacred moon, accept our offerings.
So we have given of our love and our wealth to the powers, that they may know our intentions. If we have made any error, know it was not out of disrespect, but out of what makes us who we are, our humanity. Let our voices arise on the fire. Let our voices resound deep in the well. Let our words pass the boundary to the other worlds as we say, Sacred moon, kindreds all, accept our offerings.
Sacred moon, kindreds all, accept our offerings.
Let us call an omen and see what wisdom the kindreds have for us this night. It is an emotional time, but we are rooted deep as the emotions ebb and flow. Together with our humanity, with one another, we will find the true reciprocity of shared wealth. This I have seen. William, representing the folk, do you accept the offering? The omen?
We do! We do!
Yes, we do. We totally do.
Awesome. So take a moment to reflect upon the omen. Consider first how these blessings affect you. How it washes upon you that you are rooted deep despite the deep emotions you may be feeling. How connecting with one another is what leads us to the wealth of community. Think on these things and how you can find their expression in your life. Consider how these blessings relate to us all, how the community as a whole, and this grove in particular, all of you watching, might be affected by the Great One's blessings. Now in your mind's eye, see these blessings manifest. A mist around us, a shining ray from the heavens, a deep welling from the bosom of the earth. See the blessings in your own way, and know the deities pour them out for you. All waters are, by their very nature, sacred, having touched all three realms, welling up from the underworld in the chaos of potential, pooling where it may across the middle realm, where it is kissed by the sun and rises up to touch the very heavens before raining down upon us, mingled with the powers of the upper world fires. For a time we set aside a portion to capture and hold the blessings of the kindreds as a gift to be opened and savored from within. Many are the gifts that we have been given. On this day you have offered us many things, just as we have made offerings to the sacred fire that they may be transformed into a form that you can use. So too do we ask that you pour forth your blessings into this vessel, that we may receive them. Children of earth, hold your cups up with me. Shining ones, please give us the waters. Naturekin, please give us the waters. Ancestors, please give us the waters. Children of earth, behold the waters of life.
Behold the waters of life.
So be it. With the waters of blessing within us, we have some prayer requests that came in. This is usually when in person we would do the business over the horn, but since you're not here, I will make these pours on your behalf. A lot of silent offerings this time. Ian Austin asks, a prayer to Thor for strength and courage. We make offerings for the Cooper family, for the spirits of Michael and Clinton Cooper, who both joined our beloved dead this year. May their memories always be a blessing. For Diane, we miss you. She has 2 upcoming interviews for acupuncture jobs. We pray that she gets one and that she's offered a decent living wage. Prayers for all the creatures that have died and are still dying from the fires in Colorado and California. Words have been spoken and have dropped into the well. And now, with our work concluded, we invite the ancestors of our grove and of our community to join us in this space in a tangible way, that we may tell their stories, share their names, and allow them to live on in us. Welcome, ancestors. This time is yours. Okay. Let us thank the beings that we have called, so that we can pay more attention to all of those wishing to speak to us from the box. Sacred and shining moon, never failing to shine upon us, we give you our full honor and praise. Sacred moon, we thank you.
Sacred moon, we thank you.
Shining gods and goddesses, deities on high, noble kin who stand beside us, and ancestors who've gone before us, for all your aid we offer our full honor and thanks. Kindreds all, we thank you.
Kindreds all, we thank you.
We restore the ordinary in this place, that all may be returned to as it was, save for the work that we have done. And we make final offerings to the Earth Mother, our Mother, all Mother, known in this place as Colorado, for upholding us, our foundation and strength, for your bounty, for your blessings. Earth Mother, we thank you.
Earth Mother, we thank you.
Children of Earth, this rite is ended. Let us go now in peace with a blessing in our hearts. And if you are interested, join us in the WebEx.